Hey guys, it's Jason here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. And today I'm going to show you how, and this is going to be like several videos that I'm going to put in a playlist. But today is going to be the first. And this first video, I'm going to show you how to record a chill / experimental / piano song. So this would, to give you some examples of songs on my channel like that, they would be songs like Couch, The Bathtub, Mile, Kramer Loop, Frigid, Alarm Clock, songs like that is, that is a lot of my music. And that's, kind of how I started with music, and, that's kind of like my genre that I started out with, is that chill, experimental piano style, with, some electronic elements added into it. So yes, this will be a series of videos that covers all different genres that I do, that I record. And one final note before we get into it, is that I will be doing this with voiceover on a screen recording, and because I'm blind, but I'm doing it on the screen recording, so if you are kind of visual, you can kind of see what I'm doing, and I'll slow down the speech too. But anyway, let's go into GarageBand, and I'll show you how I set up my songs. So
selected screen recording
I'm
button.
Screen recording here, and we're gonna go
Garage dictate button. Apple Donut file. Yes.
GarageBand, and that shows the names of all my songs. So
Search. Select new audio record icon. Add recent add button.
We're gonna add.
Currently
and
showing.
That's gonna create a new
Instrument
song.
4 of 11. Audio recorder. My songs button.
And right off the bat, it has you select
audio. Use the microphone voice button.
Your notes that you want, or your instrument that you want.
Morse instrument browse 3 of 11 1 of 11 keyboard.
So I'm gonna select keyboard,
sampler button,
and then
Alchemy synth button, smart piano button. Smart piano. My songs button.
And then it's gonna take me where I can play the notes.
Keyboard chords. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app. Direct touch area. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app.
And I can play chords, but I don't play chords.
Hide chord strips button. Hide chord strips keyboard.
So the next thing I gotta do,
chords
and
button.
I gotta do all this before I
sustain
actually hit record.
Octave, Morse ruler, playback, help, but settings button.
Is go into this settings dialog.
Select settings, heading, metronome, tempo, 110 button.
And I gotta change the tempo to what I want, so
tap to set tempo button. Tempo 110 adjustable. Swipe 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 9 9 9 9 9 93 92 90 90.
And I'm gonna change it to 90 BPM.
Tempo settings back button. Settings.
And
settings metric tempo 90 button.
I'm gonna change the key signature.
Time signature, key signature, C major button, selected,
and this
C
is the
button,
key of the
1
song.
of 6, D button, E flat button, 4 E button,
So
5
E,
of 6,
flat,
F button, F sharp, G button, A flat button, 3 of 6, A button, B flat button, 5 of 6.
And for the sake of this example, I'm gonna go in B flat.
Selected, B, selected, major button, 1 of 2.
And we're just gonna keep it in
each song has a key. Switch off to try dismiss pop-up. Double. My songs, but browser
and
button.
I just dismissed the pop-up to go back out of the settings dialog.
Keyboard,
and
chord, arpeg, keyboard, scale, sustain, scale, button, scale.
So this just makes it easier, so I can
arpeg
actually
chords,
play the
button.
notes I want.
Exam, major, minor, selected, major.
Because
keyboard.
I don't know. Like, I do know this keyboard. I do know the touch keyboard, but no one ever knows the touch. Even visual people just, they don't know the touch keyboard as well as a regular keyboard. you can always you always have the possibility of like always hitting the wrong notes unless you're a visual person and you look at each note that you're hitting. But anyway, I changed the scale so
keyboard options
I can hit the right notes.
Scale, mix, sustain, octave, more sounds, grand piano, button, piano,
And
grand piano.
I could do more sounds if, I wanted to change it.
Rule playback, help,
I'll do that later in the video.
Settings, button. Help, rule, song sections, button.
The next thing I do
Song section.
is go
Song
in
sections,
here
heading.
into song sections.
Section 8 bars, but section 8.
And change
automatic,
this.
Switch dot manual, automatic, on.
To automatic.
Song sections, back button.
Because,
song
yes, the song sections are useful.
Section 8 bar, dismiss pop-up.
Just dismiss the pop-up.
My songs, button.
Yes, the song sections, they are useful, but they don't, I just never use them, and, it's just a lot of work, and you gotta record, like, yes, you can change the song section to how long you want, but it's just, I don't like that.
Browser, but keyboard. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app.
So, this is just test, and I'm going to change the
Chords,
octave
arpeg, keyboard, skip, sustain, octave, -2.
to -2.
Keyboard. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app.
So this is going to be a bass octave right here. And
my song, track, undo, rewind, play, record, button.
And then I can, let's just rewind it.
Rewind, record, button.
And then I can hit record. So.
Keyboard.
And the metronome's going.
Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app. Keyboard.
And I start playing notes. Alright.
60%.
So
my song, track, stop, button,
stop
rewind.
If you want to stop the recording. And then I'm going to undo this.
Undo recording, button. Change tempo, rewind, button.
So
rewind.
I can come back after and I can go away and record this part. And then
screen recording control center.
I will come back afterwards.
Accessories and scene. So volume, fit brightness, screen brightness, bright screen mirroring, button,
and
lock rotation,
I will
switch
come
button,
back
on,
afterwards.
media controls,
And
next track,
after I
play,
record
next
this,
lock, screen bright,
and
volume,
show you the
select
next
accessories,
step.
and bedroom map, mute, flashlight, notes, camera, Apple's hearing, selected, hearing, selected, screen recording, button. Hearing devices, button. Double tap and hold to show keyboard.
Alright, so I just finished recording this part, the bass part, the piano bass part, and so the next step
my song, track controls, button.
is I go into the track controls.
Selected, track controls,
the track
undo,
controls.
replay, button. Record map, select, set help, button, grand piano, button, heading.
And
Track settings, button, heading.
it says track settings. I go in here right under grand piano.
Garage and quantization, button, heading.
And I go in here where it says quantization.
Quantization, heading.
And it quantizes the notes for me so they fit the tempo.
Selected, none, straight, button, 2 of 4.
And there's 4 options here.
Triplet, swing, button, 4 of 4.
None, straight, triplet, and swing. I haven't ever done triplets or any songs in like 3/4 time signatures. I need to do that, but I haven't. I've only done it in 4/4.
Straight,
But anyway,
button, 2 of 4.
Straight.
Selected, straight, 1/4 note.
And it says quarter note, like 1 quarter notes,
1/8 note.
1/8 notes,
1/16 note.
16th notes,
1/32 note.
32nd notes,
1/64 note.
and 64th notes.
Quantization corrects the timing of notes in your recordings. Straight gives notes a more precise rhythm, while triplet and swing give notes a looser feel.
Yeah, and you just heard that description there.
1/4 note.
I don't usually go beyond 16th notes, because it would just sound weird. And also, a lot of my songs, I don't record beyond that. So, for just the sake of this,
1/8 note.
Usually on bass parts, I will go on eighth notes.
Selected. 1/8 note. 1/16 note. My song. Track. Selected. Track controls. Button.
And so I'm done with quantization.
Keyboard.
Oops.
My song. Track. Selected. Track controls.
And so I hide the track controls. And if I need to do anything else in here, like if a track is too quiet or, if I need to turn up the volume, I'll do that. But I don't usually do that with these parts because the default volume is fine and everything else is fine. And
Tracks.
so
Button.
the next step
Tracks. Instrument. Button.
is I go in here.
Horizontal scroll bar. Add mixer. Add track. Button.
And
Use the rotor to access toggle. Add currently showing. Instrument 1 of 11. Keyboard. Instruments.
And I'm going to
Back. Keyboard. Play. Smart Alchemy synth. Smart piano. Button.
smart piano again.
My songs. Keyboard. High chord strips.
Hide the chords.
High
I
chord
don't
strips.
need those.
Keyboard. Keyboard scale. Button. Scale. Keyboard chord. Exam major. Selected. Off. Major. Keyboard.
Major. And this is going to be the melody part that I'm going to record. So I'm going to do a test recording.
My songs. Track. Rewind. Button. Rewind. Play. Record.
Rewind
Button.
so it's at the start. And usually I'll start the melody part 2 or 4 measures after the bass part is started, just to give it a good flow and build it up.
Play.
But
Record.
anyway,
Button.
we're gonna start this recording.
Keyboard. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app.
Alright, time to add the new part. And see how that just flows? I just write, whatever, like, I don't really write music, just whatever comes out and whatever sounds good is what I'll put in this song. But anyway.
My songs. Track. Stop. Button. Rewind. Ruler. Rewind. Button. My song. Play song. Horizontal scroll bar. My song. Tracks. Track control. Undo. Recording.
Undo
Button. Create
recording.
track. Undo.
And
Do not just 81. Do not orient. 80 screen. Sunday note. Screen recording in progress. Button.
I
Status
will
bar
be
item.
back.
Double tap to open app. Swipe down with 3 fingers. Selected. Screen recording. Button. Double tap keyboard.
Alright, so I just got back. I just finished recording the melody part and I quantized it. And so now
Undo. Tracks. Button.
tracks again.
Play. Record. Master. Select. Loop. Set. Help. Rule. Song. Grand. Select. Grand. Selected. Track header. Play. Record. But. Master. Select. Loop. Set. Help. Ruler. Playback. Song. Grand. Selected. Track. Selected. Replay. Record. Button. Speech off.
Alright, there.
Speech off. Mixer control. Grand piano. Add track.
Add
Button.
track again.
Use the rotor to add track. Currently showing.
It's gonna
Instrument 1 of
look the
11.
same
Keyboard.
thing.
Back. Keyboard. Play on screen. Smart piano. 65%.
And I can
55%.
select whatever keyboard instrument I want here besides the sampler.
Alchemy synth. Button.
Because I'm gonna go in there in the more sounds dialogue and change the sound anyways. So
Keyboard. Chords. Arpeggio. Keyboard.
The
Scale.
only- I
Scale.
just
Button.
need
Scale.
to-
Scale.
select
Keep
the scale
sequencer.
again.
Choose exit select major keyboard.
And then after that,
Arpeggio keyboard skip out fade gyrosis octave more sounds. Epic cloud formation button.
I'm gonna go into more sounds.
Bass button. Leads mallets selected pads button.
And we're gonna want like a little like synth pad to, make it electronic, kind of, but adding that acoustic piano style into it. That's what I do for a lot of my songs.
selected. Pads. Clap clap endless beauty. But selected. Epic clap flickering. And clap classic simple. Select blue air. Button. Main.
Well, but
Alchemy. Save. Out. Main categories. But out. Set done. Get more keyboards. Button. Keyboards.
Because there's two different pad sections.
Selected. Synth clap. Synth bass. Synth pads. Button.
We gotta go to the one.
My songs. But keyboard. Chord. Arc. Keyboard. Scale. Out. Faith. Drops. Pocket. More sounds. And cloud classic simple pad main save but done get more keyboards button
Again.
selected keyboard selected alchemy keyboards button keyboards.
Maybe I should have selected smart piano because it doesn't matter. You're gonna get to the same thing anyways, but you can take the long route or the short route. It doesn't matter.
Select synth bass synth leads button synth pads button. My saw keyboard chord arc keyboard scale alchemy face drops octave more sounds.
Oh
main,
yeah,
main A sharp 6 main categories but main categories keep selected synth bass but synth pads button
pads.
Selected synth pads chill harmonic wave fuel cells ethereal day spa button dark matter but chill pad button
which is gonna be chill pad
keyboard set done button my songs button keyboard use the rotor to enable direct touch chord arc keyboard scale synth button face control sustain octave plus 1 0 keyboard.
Turn the octave.
Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app.
And change the octave a little bit. And again, we're gonna rewind this.
My song. Undo. Rewind. Rewind.
And we're gonna do a test recording.
Record button. Keyboard. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app. Keyboard.
Let the bass part, kind of start off. And then once the melody part comes in, that's when we'll also add the pad part. So see how that just flows? I'll just stay and record this whole part. Just to show you guys what recording the whole part is like. Just for this, recording this.
My song. Track stop button.
And stop.
Rewind.
And just recorded that part. And, when I use this, it kind of, just depends, like, if I want the sound or the song to sound more, electronic like. I'll use this and then add, drums, which I'll show you later. And then, add other instruments and stuff. But when, I'm recording a song that I want it to sound, it still has the piano parts, but I want it to sound, more acoustic-like. Then I'll add a different kind of kit. And yeah, the only song, I haven't recorded a song where I've added a different kit, a drum kit, which is not electronic, which I'll show you later. But it still, had the synth pad to it, and, and it still, had the acoustic stuff. That song's called Messages. But usually when I add the synth pad, it's going to be like an electronic song. But anyway, I'm gonna add one more instrument, which is the glockenspiel. First, let me. When I get off the recording, I'll quantize these notes. But I'm gonna add one more instrument called the glockenspiel, but I'm not gonna show it. Because the part will just flow later on in the song. When we get to the drums. And you get the idea of recording all these pitched instruments. So I'll be back. I'm going to quantize this, record the glockenspiel part. Oh, and one thing about those parts too, the glockenspiel part. For me also too, it just depends on the song. It's not necessarily if it's electronic or acoustic, more electronic or more acoustic. Like, it's just if it sounds good, if it fits the mood of the song, I may add a dreamy bell part that just fits the mood of the song, or some songs I'll just, add the glockenspiel part. So in this song, I'm just feeling the mood to add the glockenspiel part instead. So anyway, I'll be back. I'm going to quantize the notes for this part, record the glockenspiel, and then after that, I'll show you how I record drums.
Orient. Keyboard. Screen ATT. Screen record. Chords. Button. Computer. Wood process.
Alright, so I just finished recording the glockenspiel part. And how you get to that is you did the same thing as I did for the synth part. Is you go to more sounds, but instead of going to synth pads, you go to other. And you want to make sure that you're selecting the smart piano just so you have the shortcut. You don't have to go to main categories, then go to synth pads, because there's two of them for the all the other synth, like the Alchemy synth and all that stuff, and then there's the one that's just the other stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, you can just when it comes to that part, this after you're done with the piano parts and the synth pad parts and the glockenspiel parts, you can add any other instruments you want. You can add flutes or sometimes French horns, like I did in one song that's Experience. You can add pretty much like strings, whatever instruments you want. And then but now we're gonna go
processed middle right side my saw tracks button tracks track F rewind button replay record match select loop set help ruler playback head speech off song sections grand piano track 1 mix of speech off mixer control add track
I just
button
turn my speech off.
Use the rotor to access toggle mixer visibility tracks play head
swipe down just to get back down to the bottom, because sometimes it doesn't work and it just stops when I do it manually for some reason.
Add track mixer add track
but anyway,
button
add
use
track.
the add currently showing instrument 1 of 11 back keep smart alchemy samp more sounds instrument 2 of 11 drums
and we're gonna go to drums.
More set BC acoustic smart drums button
And we're gonna go to smart drums.
drum grid
And here's a drum grid. You can add you can what is it? You can have it play a random pattern, which I usually do for these types of songs. Or you can have it play or you can select kind of what you want it to do. But for other songs that is actually kind of focused more on the drumming, I will just do acoustic drums. And then probably add the smart drum thing on top of it.
Random, but power off button. Hip hop drum machine button.
But we're gonna go
Default, but custom, vintage kit button. Live rock kit button. Selected, house hip hop drum machine, but classic studio hip hop drum machine button.
and then I usually use house drum
My
machine,
songs
but
button.
it's weird because I gotta select another thing. I don't know how to explain it, but I gotta select, like, for example, hip hop drum machine. That's what it was on now, but I gotta select that. And
Drum
then
grid.
now,
Rand power off, but house drum machine button.
and now it's on house
Double
drum
tap to
machine.
open
I don't
instrument
know why
choose.
it
System font
works.
regular. 15.
I don't know why it works like that, but it's weird.
Orientation. H screen. Sunday, November 20th. Stat screen recording in progress button. Status bar item.
But yeah,
Double tap to open drum grid. Reset random button.
Let's record
My songs.
these drums.
Track undo. Rewind button. Rewind. Record button.
So start recording,
Drum grid. Random button.
and then I don't start it right away, but when I do, I'll put it on random, and then have it play drum part, and then usually switch it. But for right now, I'm going to show you, and then show you a little bit, and then the rest of the recording, I'll stop the screen recording again, and I'll finish it up.
Random button. Speech off.
And now we're gonna start. And now we change it after like about 4 measures. And yeah.
ATT 97 screen record Sunday night
Alright, so
screen
now
recording.
I'm gonna
Drum grid reset button.
and so yeah, I just finished recording those drums, and now I don't need to quantize that because it already is, because it was the computer technically playing the drums, but I do have to quantize everything else because I'm playing all those notes. So, you know, you can do, like, you know, everything else. You can, for this type of genre, you can add like like this is why it's called experimental, because you experiment. But you also make it like chill, but because you don't make it like as crazy. But you can add samples, you can add vocals, like I'm not gonna add any samples or any vocals right now because I don't even know what I'm gonna call this song. It's just, you know, it's just the test song that I'm using for this video, but so I'm not gonna add any of those, but you know, I'll just give you some examples when I have added some, and then I'll show you how to actually do it. So, some examples, like in couch, the sample of me saying couch, if you want it to say couch like in different pitches, I added the sample for that, or the bathtub, kind of the same thing. Well, actually that's 2 samples because I had a sample of, you know, me saying the bathtub, and then a sample of me turning on the bathtub, and then when it comes to like those samples too, like in Alarm Clock. I kind of did the same thing. Like I didn't actually say alarm clock, but you know, you heard the alarm clock going off. And then when it comes to vocals, I will record those when, like for example, in Fall. Like Fall, I didn't really add a drum part to it, because some of these songs, like The Bathtub or Fall or Kramer Loop, I'm trying to think of any other songs where I didn't add a drum part. I didn't actually have a drum part in those. But anyway, back to the vocal thing. I can add vocals, like in that, and sometimes like I don't like in this genre particularly. I don't really actually add actual lyrics where I sing. I'll show that in another genre. But when when it comes to this genre, I do add vocals when it comes to like
I'll be back after a while.
all right, I'm recording. When it comes to sorry about that interruption. But when it comes back to the vocal thing, when it comes to vocals, I do add that, like if I want to do a narration or a yeah, pretty much like a narration, like I did in Fall, telling about the season, that other stuff. But you can play around with this if if you're making songs, you can. That's why it's called experimental, because you can play around. There's really no like set style. But usually a lot of my experimental songs are chill because I want to create other genres which are crazier genres. Create songs in other genres which are crazier genres. But yeah. Now I'm gonna show you how to actually add the part.
My song. Tracks. Button.
If
Tracks.
you really want to.
Grand P. Track head. Port. Add track. But add currently showing. Instruct backdrop. Create smart drop. Be more sound. 1 of 11. 2 of 1 of 11. Sampler. Sampler. Button.
Keyboard. And we're gonna sampler.
Keyboard.
And the default sample is Bark.
Chord. Arpeg. Keyboard. Scale. Sustain. Octave. Record. Input. 63% pitch. Neutral. Use the rotor to enable.
And you can set the input or
Plug.
whatever
Button. Illustrations.
for recording.
Right trim hand. Left trim handle. .000.
You can trim the sample, and I usually do this because double tap sounds and then stopping the recording, you hear those sounds, so I'll trim it.
Loop. Reverse. Button.
And you can
Loop
the
button.
sample. You can
Reverse
the
button.
sample.
Details. Button.
If you go to
Selected.
details here,
Detect. Edit. Control .2. 0%. Control.
you
60%.
can adjust these here.
Control .2. 0% attack. Double. Control .3. 0% decay. 100% sustain.
You
Control
can
course tune.
adjust
0.
those
Adjustable.
and sustain that and release. You can have it when it releases. You can adjust that.
Control
Course
.3.
tune,
0%.
fine tune.
Control. Detect pitch. Selected. Revert. Button.
Detect
Mod.
pitch.
0 bark. Button. Horizontal scroll bar. 9 bark. Button.
Bart, if you go in here,
Done. But import. Sample library. Import. Button.
you can import a sample if you already recorded something that's an audio file. You can import that as a sample. Like for example, Mile is a voice memos recording, and I had to import that as a sample. And for some of those samples, like the Mile sample, I will actually go into the track controls and turn off reverb, because some of those samples don't need it, but for others, I will keep it on. Just
Sample
depends.
library. Save to library. Button. Edit. Button. Selected. The song.
Just edit, save to library, song.
Library. Selected. Bark. Select. Edit. Save. Samp. Import. Button. Done. Button. My songs. Button.
And yeah, that's a sample thing. I will, when it comes to the vocals, I'm not going to show that right now, because I'm going to show that in, there's a lot of, other genres where I use it, so I'm going to show it in those. And so, finally, we finished the song, and now,
Orientation. 18 screen.
gonna
Sunday,
switch
November 12th. Screen recording in
to
progress.
a different screen recording so the microphone doesn't interrupt anything. And we're gonna let you guys hear the song.
Selected. Screen. Hearing devices. Button. Keyboard. My song. Find plug. Button. My track. Replay. Rewind. Button. Rewind. Play. Button. Speech off. Master volume. Selected. Metronome. Speech off. Speech on. Record. Button. Selected. Play. Button. Screen. Sunday.
So, yeah, that is how you record a chill / experimental song. And again, I will put all these videos, because I don't want you guys to, like, watch, like, a 2-hour long video of me, showing all the steps of how to record, like, every single song in every single genre or whatever. So, I'll just put it into sets of videos in a playlist that you guys can watch. And also, like, there's some videos that I'm gonna do when it comes to this stuff. Like, that's not directly having to do with a song and a genre, but, just some other steps and, other tips. I'll do those after I do all the genre videos. And, yeah, and those will be in the same playlist called How to Record Music. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like the video, leave that comment, subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next video.